you start seeing me get a little frustrated or antsy, you know your time is almost up. And I don't want to have to cut you off. But with that, thank you very much for your consideration. Let's talk a little bit about why we're here, or why more specifically you all are here with regard to your stories, your history, if you will. If you could share a little bit about the catalyst for why this is so important, why youth at Rio Plus 20 is so important, and what we can do to encourage the generations to come. I would like to start actually with one of our youth advocates, Raylene. I know you've been a big environmental and climate and sustainable development advocate. Sorry, there's a little problem with the mic here. You started at a bright young age of 16. And although your bio is not complete, as far as I know, I would really appreciate it if you could explain why it is that you care so much about these things.
Thank you so much for the floor, and thank you all to be here, Mr. Secretary General, dear MDG advocates. It's a really great honor to be here and to have a chance to speak with you and to you. Thank you for this opportunity that shows it's not only about words and about an outcome document, a text, but it's also about communication in real life, interaction between younger and older people. We need that because it's crucial in the process of sustainable development and forming the future that we all want. And it feels good to have a voice here and to speak actually on behalf of all the world's children and youth, because we need to be heard when it comes to our future. And it's easier said than done. Because in the current systems, it seems that it's not really easy to really make our voice be heard. Because, for example, right now in the Rio Plus 20 process, people are working so hard because they find it so important that we have a future that is secure, that is good for all, and is green, and that we can live in safely. And right now, the voice of the youth is not reflecting in the outcome document, and actually that makes us really sad and disappointing. And it also makes us maybe losing trust. And that is actually the worst that can happen in the world, I think. And we need to be included in the future where we are talking about, because we are the future. And right now we live in an era that is so well connected and faster than ever, which means that faster changes become more essential day after day. And let's make use of those innovations, also in the established systems. And when discussing the great challenges that we are facing as a world community, we should realize and mainly act upon the fact that young people are the future, and letting the young people participate in forming the future, because that is the condition of success. And with our deepest intentions to reach the goals of worldwide development and really solve emerging problems that we are facing, because it's not a joke. It is really serious right now. And there's no other option to seriously include and engage the youth in the process of tackling issues in development and sustainability. Because here innovations are the key. And young people are the innovators. Young people have the solutions. We are the solution. Innovation is in our minds. It's the way that we think. It's also in our hearts, because it's the way that we feel. But it's mainly also in our hands. Because when we have ideas and initiatives, we really put them in practice and show the good example. And since 1992, the year that I was born, I have developed competences that are relatively new to our world, such as the internet has made a huge difference right now. Social media is now coming up. We are, as youth, so familiar with those new things that would actually be smart to make serious use of that, of the young people. And among others, I wish that the older generation will see that we are committed, we're willing, and we're waiting to contribute. Please, take us serious. And we do not always feel that way to being taken serious. And we work so hard, we want it so hard, want to help, and want to help in a very meaningful way. But we also need you and your means, your knowledge, your power. Including youth-based solutions and innovation will have an enormous impact on the actual implementation of development goals. We are the future generation that will have to live and work with all of that that's implemented. And we want to connect, we want to collaborate, we want to cooperate with you in a meaningful and mutual way, with the same vision, but together even stronger. We should therefore renew those parts of the system that could help improve the inclusion of young people and their creativity as a resource for the other half of the world. Engage and empower the future that we really, really want. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for those very inspiring words, and I, for one, hope that we continue to support these visionaries of tomorrow and of today. Speaking of visionaries, speaking of empowerment, Professor Muhammad Yunus, I'm in awe of all your accomplishments, and I wouldn't even begin to know where to start with listing them. But with the Grameen Bank, for example, and your micro-lending process, that was such a vision that has helped countless people in need of that open door to their future. Of course, you won a Nobel Peace Prize in 2006 for your accomplishments as far as economic and social development. And of course, I had the honor of seeing your speech at the Rio Plus Social Summit, in which you're talking about technological innovation which will guide us to the future. What are your thoughts, or what are your experiences that have led you to focus on this as a passion and a career?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Secretary General. And I'm fully with you all the statements you made about the youth and about their present situation. And every word you said is so valuable, so important. How and how is our West reflected in our policies and our actions. The young people today, that's a statement that I would like to make, is the most powerful generation ever in the history of mankind. Because this generation is totally different than any other generation in history because of the power of technology in their mind. And that's what we're talking about, social. Because now they are constantly in touch with each other, instantaneously, that's communication. And this makes also another difference. In previous generation, young people in poorer countries were not even known that exist. Today you cannot do that because mobile phone is everywhere. No matter which country you look at, every single young person has a mobile phone, which are internet connected mobile phones. So internet is at its disposal. All you can do, Mr. Secretary General, to make broadband free for everybody, for all young people, you'll see the whole world will change right away. And this is one thing we must focus on. And when we talk about the young people, we do not forget the young women. Because previously, young men always a young man, not young women. Today, there is no distinction whether it's a remote village or in the city center. They are equally powerful. That power is at their hand, but they are not aware of it. The question we all have to do is that make them aware, how to make them aware they have a tremendous power at their hand, and how to use that power. We are always referring to young people as the future. That is the old way of referring. We have to get used to the fact that young people is the present. Center of gravity of power has to shift. It's not on the side of the age anymore. It's on the side of the talent, on the side of the creativity, on the side of the speed. You cannot beat the speed of the young people today with any other generation or any other age group exists today. So that is the power that we have to mobilize and so on. And so for some reason, I have over 2 million followers in Google+. And these are all young people. They are looking for something. Young people are hungry for action, hungry for changing the world with themselves. But we are refusing to do that. We are making barriers after barriers so that they cannot get in. So it's not only saying you are the future, we have to integrate them in an institutional way. If we are really, I hear Mr. Secretary General, you're thinking about bringing young people into the United Nations. I applaud it to highest applause that I can give you for that. You have to integrate people into the system. It's not just saying you're good, you go ahead and do it. They have the power to achieve things which others cannot do, governments cannot do, others institutions cannot do. But young people that have the power. And when I say young again, I'm not referring to the 30 or 25. I'm talking about 11 and 12. They already have so much power in their capacity. Even the 7-year-old has the capacity right now. So we have to admit that capacity and make them flourish that capacity. Mr. Secretary General, we are moving into the what we call the Millennium Tour of the young people to explain to them how they can be integrated into the SDG goals and own this and change it, which was lacking in many countries. I hope your institution will give us the full support so that we can address that. There are so many things they can do. They have the ability to design technology and make it happen across. Today, in only the last 20 years, all the technological changes happen. But imagine what will happen in the next 20 years. It will be like a science fiction. So we should be preparing for that, ready to hand over, ready to shift the center of gravity in the favor of the young people that we have. And we have to give them the hunger that they have. We have to provide the action, provide the direction to choose from. And you mentioned about the unemployment among the young people. What a shame this powerful young generation remain wasted. What kind of system we have that we kind of waste our energy and creativity in the world in such a casual way as if nothing happened. If the system cannot solve that problem, it's not a problem of the young people, it's a problem of the system. If that system cannot solve this problem, throw away that system. We create a new system where everybody will be employed, everybody will be busy. Employment doesn't mean a job. Employment means the contribution that you can make and make the world in a better place. Let's get ready for that work. Thank you very much.